Y'all want to know why I quit healthcare? Come with me on this funny journey in this video. So I quit healthcare for a number of reasons, and one of those reasons being the disrespect in the health field.
High volume.
Everybody know what I'm talking about. If you are a nurse, a CNA, GNA, medical assistant, whatever, you name anything in the medical field, you know what I'm talking about. Besides doctors, we get disrespected on a daily. Like, that is not even an option for us to not be disrespected. And another thing that grinds my gears with the medical field is that you're expected to do this and do that with no respect. How do you expect somebody to do something when you don't respect them? That's just something I don't get. What people fail to realize is that without us, it wouldn't be a you. You get me? Us medical assistants, us nurses, we hold the fort down. It doesn't matter what we are, we hold the fort down. Because it seems like to me that some of these new age doctors are getting a little bit lazy. The doctors I've worked with, to be honest with you, like, you go to school all these years for us to do all the work. The only thing you're doing is going in to talk to the patient, give them some plans and routines on what to do, and that's about it. Now, I might ruffle some feathers, don't get me wrong, but in my experience of medical assistant, I'm going to tell you how that experience went. I used to work in internal medicine, for example. I'm not going to say the hospital either. I used to work for internal medicine. I used to work in a clinic where there was residents, so there wasn't any like doctors besides the internal medicine doctors and stuff. But the clinic that I was running, they had residents. So, you know, they're still learning. I get it. And medical assistants, we are the ones to do the immunizations, the shots. We're the ones to do the blood pressure, height, weight, etc. We are the assistant to the doctor, basically. It was times where, like, I watched regular doctors and interns or whatever. I watched them Google stuff. Like, I watched them Google what this means, what that means. Aren't you a doctor? Shouldn't you know what it means? I don't know, they have their own, like, little their Google for doctors or whatever. But it was just like, it was shocking to see, because I thought maybe doctors would know some of this stuff, but some do and some don't. I've had experiences where I worked with old school doctors, and I have experiences where I work with new school doctors. The new school doctors, it seems like to me, they don't want to get their hands dirty. It's always, oh, can you run this down for me? Or can you take this? Or can you take that? Yes, it's a part of our job description. Don't get it twisted. I didn't say it wasn't. They're always sending you to run somewhere. Like, there's never, okay, well, I'll get this done and then you can get this done. It seems like us as assistants and nurses and stuff, we get this overload, we get this sensory overload. Like, we have to do this, have to do this, have to do this. I've worked for doctor's offices where I'm running lab coats down to the cleaners to get cleaned. I didn't know that was in the job description. I was doing things like lab coat runs for laundry. I was taking down sterilization tools, you know, all that stuff. I was, you know, making sure I was scheduling and, you know, medical assistant duty. But I just feel like in the medical field, the reason why I quit was the disrespect. I just didn't feel appreciated. I went to school for all those months. It might not have been years, but those months meant something to me. And it's not my fault that medical assistant is way shorter than nursing or getting your doctorate. So, or, you know, just becoming a doctor, period. Spent 9 months in school to get my medical assisting certificate, not to just feel unappreciated and also feel disrespected. I got that certificate because I was proud of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to work for, and I wanted the same energy reciprocated. Yes, I understand doctors have a huge workload and it is stressful. However, also treat the people who are helping you out in a nice manner, at least. Just to say the least. That's one of the reasons why I left the medical field. Another reason is because people are fake and phony. Co-workers, your team managers, they're all phony. I've had instances where there were cliques at the office. Why is there cliques at the office? I'm not understanding. We're supposed to be working. We're not supposed to be friends and stuff like that. And you know, I get it. People get cool or whatever. But this type of clique was like bullies. Like, that's not what we're here for. You have to understand something. Like, there are certain things you can do in front of the patient, and there are a lot of things you cannot do in front of the patient. For example, I had a problem with one of the new patient coordinators at my old job. This was my very first medical assisting job that I was so happy to get, but turned out to be a bomb. I was so excited to get this job. You know, the new patient coordinator, she was the one that used to be in my place. And then as soon as she got to be a new patient coordinator, mind you, it didn't take her long to get promoted either. So it seemed like to me she was kissing ass. Anyway, but long story short, I'm in her position. She's in a different position. She feels the need to tell me what to do. At first, I thought it was like sweet, genuine, but then it got overly excessive. And then it got to a point where like me and her relationship, instead of it being business, it started to be personal to the point where like I didn't like her. So, and she didn't like me. So, and I guess, you know, it was front office versus back office type of thing. I don't like that. We're supposed to all be in unison. Front office and back office is supposed to come together as one. Not front office talking their shit, and then you got back office, we're talking our shit about the front office. And then like we can't communicate, but we have to show face because of the people that people first see when they walk into the office. They don't see us until we're calling our name to the back. So you do the math. So, long story short, one day when we had a girl that came as a replacement that they hired, I was training her or whatever. She was already a seasoned medical assistant before me. She already knew the ropes. She just needed to know how to do the job where she got hired. So, long story short, I'm already in the midst of wanting to leave anyway. Sitting there, she comes to the back. She's like, "You didn't hear me calling you on the phone?" "Who do you think you're talking to? I am a grown woman." I said, "No, I did not." I said, I must have stepped away from the desk. Is there anything I can do for you?" She's like, "Yeah, I need you to pick up the phone next time. I need you to do what I asked you to do."
I need you to speed up that freight. Bitch! For what? So I can work harder and you can work me harder, baby girl?
Who are you talking to? I'm like, okay. I said, well, I was busy doing something. When I get the chance, I promise you I'm going to do it. She was like, well, you need to do it now because I need it done, Mind you, there are patients in the hallway. They're listening. These are people that are coming to get service. They're listening. So, long story short, whatever she said going around that corner, I did not hear until the end of the day where my coworker was like, yeah, she said before I drag you when she went around that corner. Now, who you gonna drag? You not dragging me because, number one, had I heard that, we'd have been scuffling right then and there. I don't play any games about people running off at the mouth. So, you do the math, sweetheart. But yeah, that's another thing I can't stand. I can't stand the cliques. That's number two, okay? Number one was the disrespect. Number two was the cliques. I can't stand it. Another thing that I can't stand is micromanaging supervisors. It is so crazy to me that, you know, like people like that get away with things like that because they're so cool and buddy, or you guys are getting invited to the house and you guys are just the best of friends outside of work. Somebody like me is not kissing ass. I technically can't be on your good side, you know, so I can't get jiggy with that. Like, I don't like that. I don't like when someone is a kiss ass. Like, do the work like we usually do. Like, what is it that you're going to be kissing ass for? It's not going to benefit you in the long run. So, you know, that was like my very first job. It seemed like when you're in the medical field, your very first job is that one job. Sometimes, not all the time. That very first job is a job that you will hate the most because they will teach you things that you have never seen before about life. And I promise you, when you're done, you're going to come out one seasoned medical assistant. I promise you. You have your good days in the medical field, like good coworkers, healthy environments. anywhere you work, you just have to be careful where you work. Also, make sure they don't have a high turnover rate. That's another thing that is a turn off. I work at an office that I had no clue about the turnover rate until I got into the office. I had an interview. I was working at a mental health clinic here in Baltimore. I had an interview with this lady, and I explained to her my situation. I'm going to school for nursing, and I'm telling her, like, look, these are the certain days that I work. Is that an issue before we sign this paperwork?
Oh, no, it's not an issue.
Okay, so if it's not an issue, let's sign the paperwork. I already got the interview down pat. We had a good conversation too, about an hour and a half. Never been in an interview that long. Hour and a half conversation. So we signed the paperwork, signed the contract. I get started. You know, the days that are coming up are for school. So I'm letting her know, hey, this is the days that I go to school. I'm writing it down constantly for her to remember. Why is it that you can't remember me? So, long story short, you know, I got fired just for that exact reason. Oh, because I couldn't fulfill the contract. But you knew that I went to school. And that week prior, I had caught COVID, so I was out of work for about a week. And I don't know if they didn't want to use that as an excuse, but that had nothing to do with me. But they fired me because I couldn't fulfill the contract. Now, mind you, there was a blood lab person there. She told me that the reason why the other person quit was because they were messing up pay. And mind you, with this particular job, my very first paycheck was screwed. Like, I guess I put something wrong on my form and I did not get paid. I did not get paid for a good month. For a good, almost a month. That first paycheck was my last paycheck because they fired me within a month. That right there just went to show me that these managers can be cruel and they micromanage like a motherfucker. Hey y'all, it's Future Me. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am revamping my channel. I got a new intro, new outro. You probably already have seen it. So I just wanted to let y'all know that it is currently 12:50 a.m. where I am, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. So back to the video. Also, there were days when I came in late, and I did explain to her, like, look, I'm going to be a little late. Traffic's running behind. I'm just leaving school, or I have to do something in the morning because of my kids. And it was all understandable. But now you're bringing this up in a meeting before I get fired. It's going to do what for you exactly? I don't understand it. It's not like I didn't communicate. I still came into work every single day. It's not a day I missed until I had COVID. There was not a day I missed within that month at all. So I only stayed there for 4 weeks. I just can't do it. Like, I can't do it with the medical assistant. Like, yes, I said do it because I'm from Baltimore. Do it. Anyway, so yeah, I just can't do it. That's another thing. That's the third thing. Micromanaging is one of those things. And it's like you get a complete burnout. Like, it's like you eat, sleep, go to the bathroom, medical assistant or nurse or CNA, GNA. Like, that's all you're thinking about is work. And you get home, you take off your scrubs, you take a shower, you wash them, whatever the case may be. That's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about nothing else but that. Because they make you want to just do nothing but that. It's like you neglect yourself for your office or your clinic or whatever you're working at. It sucks. Why do we do this? We are so excited to go into school, and school is the best thing ever until we get to the actual medical field. I still have my certification to this day, and it's been I've had my certification since 2018. You do the math. That's about 6 years now. I've had my certification since December, well, I want to say 5.5 because December has not came yet. Since December the 27th. I've had my certification. And I'm not thinking about renewing. I want to, but, you know, I worked so hard for it. I got good grades for it. Why not? Once I lose that certification, that's it. I got 2 months to make up my mind. Or actually, I'm sorry, a month and a half to make up my mind about if I want to keep my certification or not. Yeah, I'll show you my certification on the screen so you won't think I'm lying. But yeah, I am certified. I'm a certified clinical medical assistant. Because you have CCMAs, which is me. You have CMAs, RMAs, registered medical assistants, certified medical assistants. Yeah, some certified medical assistants think they're better than everybody. Well, the ones that I worked with, because you guys renew every 4 years and CCMAs renew every 2, RMAs renew every 2. Doesn't make you better than anybody. We all do the same exact thing. It's just accredited by a different health, like the board, like whatever. Like CCMAs is through NHA. CMAs is through, I forgot the other one. I really don't remember. I put it on the screen. But yeah, like, we're no different, babes. We do the same thing. You know, I don't treat nobody different. If you're a CMA, cool. If you're a CCMA, cool. If you're RMA, cool. To be honest with you, when I thought about being a medical assistant, I was going for my RMA. Registered medical assistant. There are differences. But yeah, like, nobody tells you that, but they are pretty different. But yeah, I wanted to further my education and go back to school for nursing. I had to drop because of that job and because I moved. That's the 2 major things. I didn't just have the motivation to go back to school anymore, so I had to drop the nursing course. My prerequisites, I had to drop it. So, you know, the medical field just discourages you sometimes. Sometimes, like, I want to say majority of the time, it's really good, but you get discouraged. Like, you just don't want to do it no more. It's not the same. It's not the same when you graduated. It's different. You know, the people are different. You start to experience real life as a medical assistant. And it's just like, you get there, it's like, what did I do all this for if this was going to be the way it was, you know? I mean, the only thing I miss about it is the money. I love the money. I loved it. My first medical assistant job, I was making $15 an hour. $15.75 an hour. And then the minimum wage at the time wasn't even $15 yet. My second one, I made 17 something an hour. Minimum wage wasn't even that, and that was during the pandemic. So, I was making good money. I loved it. The job I missed the most is when I did data entry. That was the job I missed the most. Sitting on my behind, in the cubicle, no care in the world, working from 9 to 5. I was fine with that. 17 an hour, easy work, every single day. But I had to leave because my daughter started her virtual schooling. But yeah, that's the only medical job I miss. Other than that, all of those can
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass!
I hope you guys enjoyed this because I'm going to do a part 2 to this. Y'all really need to know about really what goes on in the medical field. I could tell y'all stories for days. For days. Right now, I'm going to be up here and ask you. Go ahead and hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe button. And on top of that, go ahead and hit that notification bell for new notifications about when I upload. Y'all know y'all want to. I'm signing out. I'm going to do another part 2 to this story. And I hope y'all enjoy this one. Peace. Love y'all. Bye.